Time to leave the UK and set off for the most exciting trip of the year. We're going to go to, first of all, to Ager, a small village called Ager in Spain, where we've got the Ager Open, followed by the Pre-Worlds, so the Pre-World Championships, and then we're driving to France for the French National Championships and the British National Championships. So 4 competitions back to back. The Shogosaurus is all packed and ready to go. We have all our gear ready to go. And here comes Gordon with the caravan, which is where we're going to be living for the next couple of weeks. We're on the way. It's 1:45 in the afternoon and we're setting off to Spain. Hey, we finally made it to the ferry. It's now 8 o'clock at night. We've picked, yes, she said that, that's why she said go up there, Gordon, go on onto the boat. And we managed to pick up a Wayfarer Strait whilst we're coming on the route. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Josh. Josh is going to be our very special driver. Oh my God, Gordon, you're going to die. Thank you. Here we go, onto the ferry. Bye bye England. Josh, are you excited to be our driver?
Absolutely, mate.
How many times have you done this before?
What, retrieve driving?
How many times have you been out with Hanggliding pilots?
Well, we just kind of leave you to one side, mate, and lay out our kit in 5 seconds and go flying.
5 seconds. So
5 seconds.
Josh is a paraglider pilot. He is the sworn enemy, but this is part of paraglider hangglider relations. We've agreed to take him on as our retrieve driver as a special favour to the paragliding community. So it's now 2 o'clock in the morning and we've stopped to we've stopped to swap drivers. Quite tired now, and it's time for Josh to have a turn. How do you feel about driving, Josh? Are you awake enough to drive?
Well, I mean, if you shut your eyes for long enough, it's all just looks the same, doesn't it?
It's 8 AM. We're somewhere in France. We've had a little bit of a sleep, and Josh
A little bit.
snores. Gordon, where are we?
No fucking idea.
Because you've been asleep the whole time. Because heroes here. We've been doing all the driving. It's like 6 o'clock in the evening, having set off 11 o'clock yesterday morning, 12 o'clock yesterday, and he's just been asleep the whole time. So let's go get some food. There's only me and you allowed to eat. He's not allowed to eat. So after all that driving, we are finally at the takeoff at Ager, and here is Akira, top pilot. Akira, good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
This is practice day. Nagu. Akira's nickname is Nagu. He's a really good pilot, and he's having a practice. Me and Gordon have decided maybe we won't practice because it's just a little bit and the competition starts tomorrow. So we're letting our driver, he's going to have a fly today instead on his paraglider. We are now paraglider friendly. This is Josh about to take off. We've been nice to him and letting him have a fly before we do. How's that for hang glider paraglider relations? Come on then.
Take off.
See you later. So now we have the first day of the Ager Open, and we're just had done the briefing for task 1, race 1 of the Ager Open, and today it is going to be an 80-kilometre task. over the back and round in a circular sort of thing, which I will show you on a map separate to this. And I've just returned to my glider and I have acquired a lot of groupies. So these are all groupies obviously who know Darren Brown Extreme Sports, and they just want to be part of the film and on the video. So and they're completely ignoring me, so perhaps they're not really groupies, but hey. So I'm going to get ready now. We're taking off in about 20 minutes and I'll explain more of the task when in the sky. Okay, thank you. Ha ha ha! Hello, Ager. I'm looking for a thermal so I can get high for the start. Just gentle lift so far. Whoa. So left hand turn there, so I have to go left. Like that. So this is today's task, which is 80 kilometers long. The takeoff is here and the start cylinder is this orange circle here. So we have to be in the start cylinder and leave it for the start. And then we'll fly to the east. We have to jump this gorge here. There's a big unlandable area here, so we have to be careful and make sure we're high getting over here, over to the first turn point at the east at Villanova de Mela, and then up to the north. Now this bit of a run around this area, there are cliffs along here and there's some shallow grassy slopes around this area which sometimes work. The safest option is to go deep here, deeper up the hill, but the quicker option is to actually go straight across. Here at Abella de la Conca is where we've got sort of shark's teeth kind of rocks that look like they should work, but they don't always. And then we go west. Usually we're fighting a bit of west wind here and going right up into here. We have a ridge called the Gerp and we're getting right up high into that before going east over to this turn point, which has a huge radius on it. Now just here, these cliffs here, the red cliffs, I call them the cliffs of doom, because quite often you get there and you get stuck. There's no thermals for ages, so it can be really difficult. So one option is to go at the shortest route to the cliffs of doom and then to the next turn point. Another option is to fly black along this ridge here and go further to get the turn point, but it's safer in terms of less chance of going down. Then the final turn point is centered around an army camp here, and then into goal, which is a hot and dusty goal here. Normally they would set goal on the shore of this lake, however the field next to the lake is not cut, it's got crop in it at the moment, and because the lake is quite high at the moment there is very limited landing, not enough to get a big competition in. Although we're told they will be cutting it in the next few days, so hopefully we can land there in the next few days. So that's today's task, 80 something kilometers. Let's see how we do. So we're nice and high now, and the first task involves going out that way to the village of Port d'Ager, but not very far away from the ridge, to be fair, about 1.5 to 2 kilometres away from the ridge. And then after that, the next turn point is over that way across the gorge and right to the end there. And then after that we jump over the back of those mountains into the valley behind and do some flying back there. Now I've just realised two issues. The first issue is I forgot to plug my radio in, which is not normally a problem because I normally don't bother flying with radio anyway. Gordon likes to fly with radio, but a lot of the time I fly without. That has caused another issue in that I'm now thinking, have I set the correct start time? So according to my instrument, the first start gate is at 14:45. That's 2:45 in the afternoon. And I thought it was at 2:30. I've got it in my head that it was at 2:30. So I'm really not sure. But what I can do is start when everyone else starts. That's an option. But I'll see what happens. Currently that first start is 36 minutes from now, if it is at 2:45. So I've lost a bit of height whilst chatting to you, and I'll just get back up high again now, find a thermal, and then see if we can get ready before the start. This is the point in the flight, 15 minutes before the start, where everyone is trying to get the most advantageous position. Everyone's trying to be high, everyone's trying to be close to the line, and everyone's fighting for the little bits of lift we've got up here. Nobody wants to be the one that gets low before the start. So I'm just eking out every bit of lift. I'm in an advantageous position in that I'm over the middle of the valley where the start is, but I'd like to be a bit higher. Everybody's fighting for the start now. 3 minutes. 7,500 feet up. Everyone is trying to get that prime position. Surf gliders, eh? Looks cool, doesn't it? So I got myself low just before the start, lower than everyone else, but I've gone for it anyway, I've taken the start. Next waypoint's that way. This next bit is always scary, jumping over this gap. I'm a bit low to do it comfortably right now, but we'll see what happens. That was a rigid wing, thermaling over the gap somewhere, which makes it feel a little bit more comfortable. Nice! Yahoo! Perfect position for this thermal. Couldn't have asked for it to be anywhere better. Here I have crossed the gap and I'm now heading towards the next turn point, but here it starts to go very wrong as I go down. Struggling now, there's a load of us struggling. Low down. Desperately need a thermal now. And there was a thermal, but rubbish. This is properly rubbish now. Everyone's getting lower and lower. Watching Ager, he's the only one lower than me. But nobody seems to be going up. Nobody's finding the thermal. We're all going down here. This is really bad. Come on, give me a thermal. This is not working. far off the bottom here. Come on, Akira, go around in circles, find the thermal. 'Cause I need a thermal. Woo. Come on! Really rough lee sider. And not run up all the way around. Shit! Ah, flipping it! Wow, this is not good. There's a guide ahead that's climbing and it's flipping Gordon. I'm sure that's Gordon. If Akira gets it, I might get it. If Akira doesn't get it, I won't. I'm unzipped here. Well, we're working it. Trying. Getting about 200 feet. Me and Akira trying to go up. Starting to work now. I've zipped my harness back up. We're not out of the woods yet, but we're at least going up at the moment. Well, doesn't that feel better? See that bird there? Did you see that? Did you see that? I've used those birds, the vultures, to show me where the lift is. Now, I'm way behind now because I got really low there. And I've seen people zooming off ahead of me. Akira, who I was with there, he's still really low, he didn't come up with me. So he must be cursing in Japanese, because he's Japanese. Still not high enough though. But I've ended up going more east than you needed to go for the course, and that might mean I take a slightly different line when I take the next turn point, which is that way. So my different line might mean I go over the higher ground, might make it better for me, we'll see. Using these vultures to show me the best part of the lift. They're a little bit better at it than I am. So I've just come up from this area down here, right down the bottom down there, and I've thermaled up to this area here, and as you can see by now I am absolutely miles behind everybody else, and I'm heading towards the next turn point, which is this one here. How's that for a view, eh? How is that for a view? All over the Trent Valley. Kieran managed to get up as well. He's joined me, so we're flying together now, which is great. Always better to fly with somebody else. It's easier to find the thermals, and when you're in one, to find the best part of a thermal. So we are 8 kilometres from the next turn point. Ah, flipping it, get round. Which is that direction. Best turn you off and concentrate here, because I'm all over the place. Okay, getting towards the cliffs now, where you can see in the distance the lake where we would normally land. I've taken a decision to cut off those big cliffs, because I'm hanging to take the shorter route, or direct route, and hopefully get the middle over that way. Get a bit closer in. So here you can see I've just clipped the edge of that turn point, and I'm heading towards the next bit of ridge where I can see people climbing. So getting as high as possible before the next glide, because it's 15 kilometres to the next turn point. I'm setting off now though, because the Kira's on his way. I'm going to go with it. 8,500 feet here, and I can see some of the route that is last on the side. So let's go that way. Haha. So getting up high again, nearly 8,000 feet. And 3.5 kilometres from the next turn point, and I think it's time to go to it. Let's go. There are people lower down than me who are going for it, so let's have a go. So I'm almost high enough to glide to goal from here, although it is 22 kilometres, and there's wind to worry about, so probably not going to glide to go from here. But I'm working out now which way to go next. Whether to go the shortest route, which is more dodgy, or the longer route, which is more guaranteed. I think probably the longer route, even though I've got all this height. And I'm with Gordon, that's him just there underneath me. He did get ahead of me earlier, I caught him up somehow, no idea how. But yeah, I think it's time to go. At 8,500 feet now, let's take a glide. The next turn point, the final one but one, is to the top right of the screen, and going the direct route means going directly to the red cliffs, where sometimes it's difficult to get back up again. And we did get quite a bit of sink on the way there, but we went the direct route anyway because we got so high at the front, and then just turned around to come back towards the circle towards the left of the screen. Well, I've just found a really good thermal. Going up at 800 feet a minute. No, 600. 600 to 700 feet a minute. Gordon didn't find it, so I kind of left him behind here. stay with this a bit so I get loads of speed. Or at least certified getting to go. Don't want to take any chances. This is the best thermal I've had. Right, time to leave it. 7 to 1 glide angle required. I should make that. Just around the final turn point. Gotta get to goal. 6 kilometres. In this direction. Let's see if I can get to goal. I did only need a 6 to 1 glide angle, but I was only just making it. And there is terrain in the way. So I'm taking a little bit careful right now. But I think the wind is on my side now. Found a thermal. Just watched Gordon mess up his landing a little bit. Looks like it's going to be a fast landing. Hopefully I can get mine better, but we shall see. So here we are in goal. I got here, yes! Despite thinking that I was going to land with Akira near that first turn point, which was really scary. As in, bugger, I've messed the whole thing up, we were really low. But I've got a low save on camera, which is a great thing to get. And here we are in the goal. As I said, not especially fast, but I am especially in goal, which is yes. Gordon, who you can see over there, he left me when I was low. He just carried on and off he went without me when I got stuck low. But I caught him up later and I actually beat him to goal in the end, which was great. And then, what?
How come you beat me? You landed up on it. It must have been really hard.
I got here and started climbing out. I was really high. I know, I saw you.
We should fly to about 6 and then land.
So yeah, that was a great flight, really enjoyed it. I had that mess up. Followed Gordon for quite a while towards the end after I caught up with him. And then what Gordon doesn't know is when we were coming back on the glide and he was just ahead and to my right slightly and he's sinking out towards me. So I took closer into the hill and I hit an 8 up thermal and went, bye Gordon.